Hey, what's up? It's Mike Orlando from Category 7, and you're watching CMS TV.
It is Chris Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin. And today on the show, I don't even know how to describe it. Every time I talk to this guy, I start by saying, man, here's another great record, because he just keeps doing it. Whether it's the Nocturnal record, which I loved, whether it was Sonic Universe, which I really loved, now back with maybe the supergroup of all supergroups with Category 7. The new album is also called Category 7, and here to talk all about it is the great Mike Orlando. Mike, how are you, man?
Thank you for that incredibly gracious entrance. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Well, it's great to have you, man. And, dude, I'm just going to say this off the top. There's no way to not like this record if you like metal. There's just no way. It's that simple.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. We definitely we brought it on this one. Yeah,
you definitely did. Well, before we get into the record and whatnot, tell me a little bit about Category 7. I mean, I'm in the business. You're in the business. You guys did a better job than maybe even Kerry King did at keeping this thing quiet. I heard nothing about it until the video came out. How did you keep, especially with guys that are very prominent, how did you guys keep it all so quiet?
Yeah, it was there were a few leaks, but nothing that explained the entire picture. I think it got out there that myself and Phil and Jason Bittner were somewhere doing something, and but that was it. You know, we tried to our management wanted this kind of like, when it comes out, you know, kind of feel. And we were like, sure, yeah. Anything different and cool, you know, we dig. So we definitely did. Yeah, we kept it under wraps for quite a while. You know, definitely the last year, I would say, without a doubt.
That's amazing, dude.
And it was hard. It was hard.
And I just have to say, Phil Demmel is got to be one of those guys that's a take it to the grave guy. He kept two major bands quiet at the same time. Yeah. That's amazing, man.
It's hard not to talk, you know, to talk about something that you're so excited about. I will say it was challenging.
Right on, man. Well, Mike, tell us about how this band came together. Certainly monstrous personalities, monstrous talent in it. At the same time, monstrous schedules to work around, as far as, you know, not so much touring, which I'm sure we'll get to at some point, but certainly just even from a creative aspect, every one of you guys is very busy. So how were you guys able to be creative and write songs that mesh together with each other?
You know, the writing was pretty much myself and Phil Demmel as far as musical. So, you know, we started off where we would get together and we would throw a lot of ideas down, and I would take them back to my studio. And, you know, at that point take what we had and build them into full songs. And then we would do it back and forth, me and Phil. So it kind of started like that. Once we had a couple, or yeah, I would say about two maybe, we, of course, well, Jason was brought in. The whole thing started with myself and Phil, the idea, and then we were together with Jason one night, and it's like, here is the core. Here we go. And it was absolutely off and running. And once we had, like I said, about 2 pre-production tracks, we sent them to John, and that was the start of it, the bigger picture, and my God, what the amazing John Bush brought to the table was just incredible. There's nothing I could say other than everything that he does is amazing lyricist, amazing singer, person, everything. So he just took everything to the next level. Sure. As far as music wise. Once he sent us back a track, which I think was in Stitches. It might have been in Stitches. He started with Land I Used to Love, if I'm not mistaken. But I think then it went to In Stitches, and that was, I think the first track. And then into Land and maybe Exhausted. Okay. But that's how it started. Myself and Phil mostly. Music. Okay.
And yeah, John Bush. John Bush, for most people, is one of those guys that they make the proverbial, you could sing the phone book and I'd listen to it guy. I mean, he's never done anything bad.
He is absolutely that guy. His voice is so unique and amazing. And I'm going to say he is more powerful now, 40 years into a career, I would say easily. I think he sounds better than ever. It's incredible.
He really is.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, let's talk about you for a minute. You obviously put this out really, really right on the back of Sonic Universe, which is another. I talked to Corey. Yeah. I don't know, like whenever that record came, 3 months ago or whatever. It's not that long ago.
Not even. Maybe a month ago.
Yeah, that's why it was very recent. Is ideally, I'm assuming that's not how you wish it would have played out, but how did it end up playing out so close together?
It was not at all. Yeah, that was, that was out of my hands, in the hands of record companies and stuff. And, another completely different style of music.
Sure.
But, Sonic Universe with Corey is, that's an amazing album unto itself.
It is.
And Corey Glover, what can't you? Another one of the greatest vocalists on the planet. Yeah. But yeah, I did not. It was not meant to be that close. No one would want that.
Right? No doubt. Well, dude, you must be some kind of a magnet for great singers. Corey Glover, John Bush, or Russell Allen. I mean, geez, there's not many that have that on their resume. That's for sure.
I have been blessed. So blessed, not only with singers, just with players, everybody, drummers, bass players, vocalists, everything. I really feel blessed looking back at, the players and all the bands and yeah, what can I say?
Right on.
I'm truly grateful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, let's dig into the record a little bit. And, we were talking a little bit about John Bush. I think in my ears, listening to the record start to finish a zillion times as I have in the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
He is maybe the standout of it, which is not really surprising, but what is surprising is he stands out to me because he tries a bunch of stuff that you never heard in Armored Saint, you never heard in Anthrax. I mean, like you mentioned Exhausted, which is by far my favorite track on the record. And I think it is because Bush does some very different stuff vocally. Yeah. Did you guys, when you were writing this stuff, did you write toward a vocal, or did you write and then he experimented himself with the vocals?
No, we always sent music. And let John, I am adamant about that, where you want the singer, whoever it is, be it in this case, the great John Bush, to do his thing. That's the whole idea, So we were adamant about that. And as far as musical wise, though, once John was on board, and like I said prior, really early on, the second song or so, for me as a writer, it was great I want to know who I'm writing for, because once it's in my sight and in my mind, and you see the forest through the trees, it's easier for me as a writer to cater to it. Hey, I think John will like this. I want to do this. And so that aspect was definitely there. Once it was, we definitely directed it towards what we felt would be great, for John and what he would enjoy. And he just he knocked it out like grand slam times 100.
Right. No. Now, for you personally, Mike, how is it to write with somebody like Phil? I mean, you guys are both amazing guitarists, but you are in different ways. I mean, Phil, if you compare your career to Phil's career, two very different players.
Absolutely.
Yet on this, you come together very well. Is there any butting heads, or is there any do you try to sound like a little more like him sometimes, or him like you, or no?
No, it was, we have such a great chemistry, me and Phil. Really, I hate to say it, there's no like, oh, we're just talking it up. No, it's just the kind of the way it was, we're different players. Yeah. You could hear it on the album. I don't even play with a bar. Although I have a whole system and a whole, locking tremolo system, Phil does these incredible musical things. It's not just little dive bombs here and there. He's very musical with the way he'll ride notes and pull it up and down and work his kill switch and everything. He brought so many interesting original things to that aspect of it, because we're different players,
Sure.
But I feel that we both thankfully have this like really great matching thing, and you hear it in Exhausted. Exhausted is, as a matter of fact, we just did a playthrough and Guitar World magazine exclusively. They premiered it yesterday.
Okay.
And it's me and Phil doing Exhausted, and you really could hear us join together. It drives home that dual guitar thing where we start off in harmonies, and it's really it doesn't shred at first, but then we do this passing along of he'll do his thing, I'll do my riff, and it's kind of a question and answer, and that's a real great song to see and hear.
Yeah,
the difference in styles, that how they come together, very cool.
Mm-hmm. And by far, it's the most different from the rest of the record as well. I mean, it is the one that you have to kind of look to make sure you're listening to the same record.
That's great, though. You want that. I feel that the album has a direct vision, which is great. You don't want to veer too far off on something, but Exhausted is a big track, big chorus. It really drives home something different. I couldn't be more proud of that song.
Sure. Well, Mike, for you, and we mentioned it a little bit, you have played in a lot of things that are different from each other. None of your bands sound the same. None of them. How hard is that for you as a player? I mean, I know you're a super creative guy, but how hard is it for you to put your brain into this place and that place and play with a different style? Like, Sonic Universe is very different from this, but and especially as a guitar player, it's wildly different from this.
Yeah, that's the joy. That's the joy of it. That's the aspect I love the most. I don't want to just keep doing the same thing and be repetitive, whether it's Sonic Universe or whether it's the Nocturnal album in South America and Brazil that just came out. There's a track called Reset the Game. It's insane, like 200 BPM, and we're going at it. I mean, totally different, crazy prog, speed metal, as opposed to funk and hard rock and soul with Sonic Universe, and the Category 7 just drops this big hard rock aspect. I love being able to just take off a hat and put on a different, feel, or the guitar sound is just a little catered more towards this. man, it's my favorite part of it.
Sure. Let me just ask you, it's a cheesy question, but it's one I ask every guitar player. How many riffs do you have on your phone?
Hundreds. Yeah, every phone has that voice recorder
Right.
option. So, and most of them, to be honest, is me humming them.
Okay.
It's not even me, because you don't have a guitar with you always.
Right.
So I have to hum what I hear, and then yeah, that's how it starts.
Do you find out like 6 months later, you go back and there's 300 in there and you start listening to them going, what was I thinking? Or,
There's so many that I can't even keep up. Like you forget about tons of them. It's just the way it is. And then when you start something new, it's hard to, you don't go back, because you pick up a guitar and you just keep going. So one day I'll have to go through them all and be like, holy, you know what?
Right. Nice. Well, Mike, for you, getting back to the record, what was there a song, and if there was, what was the most challenging song on this, and why was it challenging?
The album was a joy and a lot of fun to make. I won't say challenging. I will say maybe took a bit was Eder Stormen. It's an 8.5-minute instrumental, which ends the album, and it's an incredible track. With instrumentals, you don't want to just be, it's not just for us showing off and hey, I could do this, look what I could do. None of this album is that. This is all song is king, and that's it. The song is king, and it's got to be there to pull you in. And I think Eder Stormen carries you from front to back. It's a song, but it's got melody, and it's got twists and turns, and it was long, and it was definitely so. Maybe I would say that just because of the sheer length of it,
Sure, no doubt. Well, Mike, certainly the bread and butter of any band today is touring. Yes. That being said, you guys, I don't even know how you untie that web of everybody's schedules. Is there any tour plans or even show plans, or what does it look like?
Absolutely, 100%. I know everybody will say, oh, well, there's so many different pieces. There is, but there's going to be times where we just constantly keep carving out our niche spot in the calendar to go out. So we are 100%, wanting to cover the globe and get out there as best we can, and we will respectively, map out the calendar for the next year and a half, and
sure,
and we'll get out there. That's for sure.
Nice. Do you think that you'll get out there before the end of this year, or do you think it'll be festival season next year is when it starts, or something like that? Or
next year will definitely be a huge year for us, without a doubt. I don't know yet. We have an incredible manager and team. Larry Mazur is an icon manager, and we're with Tim Bohr, as our booking agent. We have such a great team, as well as a label, the iconic Metal Blade Records, that everybody is excited. And of course, we all want this to do the best it can and get out there. So behind the scenes, we're going to be working hard at getting
right on. Let me ask you about Metal Blade for a minute. I mean, certainly the iconic label as far as indie metal goes, no doubt about that. Yeah. I have to imagine right now that Category 7 is going to be the priority record for the label probably through the rest of the year. I don't think they have anything big like this coming out. What does that mean for a band like yours today? In the old days, what it meant. It meant millions of dollars thrown at you and blah, 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 promotion, all that. What does that get today? I know Brian is still a genius at getting the music out there.
Absolutely.
But what does that mean for a band like Category 7 being the priority?
I would hope that we are the priority. I can't speak for the label, but we are truly excited to be with Metal Blade. And yes, Brian is a genius in that aspect, and it's such an iconic label. All I can say is they are truly excited, and we have a lot of content coming, a lot. So a lot of we've shot many great videos. So there's a lot coming. I will say that. So they really did get behind us, and it'll come out in this next 6 months.
Okay.
So yeah.
Very
And
cool.
then hopefully we're out there and just the touring machine has started and the boat leaves the port and we just keep going.
Well, when that boat leaves the port, will it be you jumping on from the Sonic Universe port? I mean, where are we at with that one?
Yeah, well, that is a hard boat to launch because Corey is so busy with Living Color. They have just had this incredible resurgence, and they don't stop. They have been touring like crazy. So it is a very hard schedule to work around.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Let me swing back just one more about Sonic Universe. I don't want to turn it into that project. But when I talked to Corey, he just kind of, he's so nonchalant. You know how he is. He's very low key a lot of the time. And he just, when I asked him how you guys met, he's like, I just heard Mike and I invited him to my house. And I was like, wow, how does that happen? I mean, did you know him? Like, had you crossed paths or?
No, it's a funny story. We met on Shipwreck. I was performing on the main deck, and a mutual friend of ours brought him to watch the show. And as soon as I came off stage, and he was like, "What the F is that? What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, what? What are you?" Here it is. Corey Glover's yelling at me, one of my favorite singers of all time, and it was a joke. It was like, "That was incredible. Like, we have to work together." That was it. It was that easy.
Right. But what's funny is a lot of people say that, everybody gets that glad hand thing.
Yeah.
But then it happened. Then it just all of a sudden happened. And that's the crazy part.
Yeah, I know. We had started, and unfortunately then COVID hit. And, you could erase a few years of right off the calendar, unfortunately, which is, sucks for everybody across the board, not just music industry. So, yeah, it put a stop to it, but then finally we got to it, and
right on.
That's how
definitely. well, Mike, obviously, man, the new release, Category 7. It is. When is it out exactly? Do you know the exact date of it?
Yes, it is July 26th on Metal Blade Records worldwide.
Very good. So people should pre-order it now and buy it. People, don't just wait to stream it.
No,
please buy it. Vinyl and all that stuff.
Yes, definitely. I'm with you. Buy it, because Metal Blade is putting out such great stuff. There's this great vinyl, limited editions with the colorful, translucent blues and reds. The vinyl is just incredible looking. So I would definitely say grab a piece of some of their products that they're putting out for this,
and then bring it to the show and get it signed. That's how
absolutely, without a doubt. I am I need something in my hand. I'm not a streaming person, or I have to own something.
Right. No doubt, man. Well, Mike, where should we tell people to go to keep up with you guys online and to buy product and all that other stuff, tour dates?
Yeah. Our official website is category7official.com, and all of the socials are Category 7 Band. So you could follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and X, Twitter, and all that stuff. That's that tag. And of course, metalblade.com has all of the pre-orders and everything that you need to order from. You're going to find it on all our sites. So there it is, right across the board.
Very good, man. Well, one more time, the album and the band is Category 7, out the end of July. Please buy it, folks. And Mike, as always, man, it's great catching up with you here on Chris Akin Presents.
Thank you so much for having me again, man. Really, it's always a pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
Exhausted, it's not too late. Hibernate, must recharge, recalibrate. My heart is racing, it's down, it's melting down. Exhausted.
You see all the commercials for online gambling, but you're afraid to try them because you just don't want to lose, right? Well, play with the house's money. Right now, sign up with FanDuel at fanduel.cnspn.com and get $15 of free bets just for using our link. Sign up today at fanduel.cmspn.com and get $15 worth of bets on FanDuel. Be responsible and play today.